All right, yo. Man, we on. Mic is recording. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me right there. I had to scratch my head. You know what I'm saying? But we are officially on episode 58. You know what I'm saying? And that's for the Luv Podcast. Want to welcome y'all back to the dojo, as we call it. You know what I mean? And more importantly, just want to thank the supporters. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's all DSPs out there. Shout out to my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go follow that. That's for the LUV podcast. YouTube, follow it, get the subscribers up, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get to a high number so that way we can maintain the content and show everybody the 757 love, you know what I'm saying? But before we get started, I want to start off first and foremost by sending my condolences and my blessings and love to the family of Tina Turner. You know what I'm saying? I want to say rest in peace to the Queen. It has been reported as of May 24th, this past Wednesday, Miss Tina Turner has passed away. The cause of death has not been announced. Not that part is really important, but you know what I'm saying? Either way, we lost a queen, a legend, somebody that has championed her pain and domestic violence situation and, turn that into a positive and more so energy force, more than a positive. She turned it into something that helped heal the rest of the world, you know what I mean? On some wild shit. And I say that to see how to go through something like that and that become like a worldly joke is kind of wild, you know what I'm saying? But it's the world, man, and you know what I'm saying? When you add social media and shit to that, it just adds more clownery to it. But nonetheless, man, again, a legend, icon, all of the worldly prestigious terms that you can think of that describes that woman. And you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna start off with that. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't for her, it wouldn't be a Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So, and just a lot of other shit. But rest in peace to the Queen. You know what I'm saying? Definitely turn up. And like I said, man, we are definitely on episode 58. We are here like always. You know what I'm saying? Definitely shout out to Super Clothing as always, because that is the merch and Daza of the For the Love merch that's still out there. You know what I'm saying? Cop the tees. We are, you know what I'm saying, in the brainstorming process of working on some other merch. You know what I'm saying? For the people out there, for the loved ones, the beloveds. You know what I mean? So definitely stay tuned in that regard. And of course, in the meantime, just go to the Super Clothing website and just check it out, man. And besides the merch, you know what I'm saying, look at the other Super Clothing merch that's available. You know what I'm saying? My man got pieces on that site. So just go up there, check it out, you know what I mean? And cop some local clothing, man. Shout out to Made in Norfolk, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the other clothing brands. Shout out to Certified Chicken Chasers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the other local clothing. If I not naming you off the top, forgive me, but it's a lot, you know what I'm saying? And Polidori, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but you're another one, you know what I mean? Check them out. And we here, man. So the first thing I do want to get at, because, it's a couple things, you know what I'm saying, before we get into the new music, because it's been a minute since we done covered the music that done dropped. And as far as 2023, it's been kind of light in the beginning, but we starting to heat up in the summer. So before we get there, we got, want to get into the sports, man, because there's been a lot of sports activity, you know what I'm saying, recently with the playoffs on the NBA and on the NHL side. That's hockey for people that don't watch hockey, but more importantly on the basketball, you know what I'm saying, you got the playoffs, and we are at the stage of the conference finals with the West and the East side. You know what I'm saying? Of course, your boy, a lot of niggas goats. LeBron got swept. You know what I'm saying? It's a wild statement to say, but it happens. You know what I'm saying? And people got to understand at the end of the day with that series, it came down to the fact that the Denver Nuggets were on paper the number one seed in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like the playoffs overall was so crazy, with Miami's run, and we're going to get into that. And even LA being a playing team and knocking off the number 2 seed, which is the Grizzlies, and then they beat the Golden State Warriors, who were the defending champions, even though they wasn't per se a higher seed team, they were the defending champions. So to go through them two and to eventually come to the conference finals on the West side, you forget that they're playing the number 1 seed, which is the Nuggets. So that's not to say that they had no chance, but to see the sweep, it was kind of like a gentleman's sweep. Like it was like a gentleman's sweep is a 4-1, but it was a gentleman's sweep in terms of like how the first finals was for LeBron against the Spurs, like how each game he came with all he had and he gave everything, and his teammates did what they can do. But each game, it wasn't enough for what the Spurs had, and it was the same with the Nuggets. And when you have your third, fourth, fifth, sixth guy balling on the Nugget side, it's just nothing that the Lakers can do, especially with AD's inconsistency. And their other role players like D'Angelo Russell not doing shit either is a major part. And to me, he can't come back to LA, man. That's somebody I can't resign on a max situation if this motherfucker can't even play the crunch minutes of the last game in the playoffs. That cut that shit out, you know what I'm saying? But again, LeBron swept. Shout out to Jokic. Shout out to Jamal Murray, because he definitely had a hell of a series, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Not even just in my opinion, that's just a fact, but more so that was deeper than Jokic's performance to me. But you know what I'm saying? And then on the East side, like I said, the Miami Heat, led by Jimmy Butler and them, you know what I'm saying? And I mean in them, because there's no other all-stars, superstars that's linked up in Miami. It's just Jimmy Butler. Of course, they got Bam Adebayo and role players, respectfully, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin, Kyle Lowry, Kevin Love at their point of the career. But to bring it back, you got Jimmy Butler in the Miami Heat, who is another play-in team representing the East Side, and they're steamrolling through in the playoffs. First of all, knocking the number 1 seed, which is the Milwaukee Bucks, and then they go through and get rid of the Knicks, and then now they're in a situation where they were eventually up 3-0, but now they're facing a 3-2 lead against the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? As of this recording, the Boston Celtics recently beat the Miami Heat on Game 5 at the crib in the Boston Garden, and they're now going into Game 6 back in Miami. So we're definitely going to see if Miami can close it out. In my opinion, I got Miami closing it out in Game 6. Now, a lot of people, which is like the rest of the world besides Miami or Florida, the state of Florida, believes that the Celtics done turned the tide, and now we about to see the first team in NBA history come back from a 3-0 deficit and win the series. And not only win the series, but advance to the NBA Finals. Now, again, going back to my point with the seeding, this is the number 2 seed in the East, which is the Celtics. So people are forgetting that on paper, is not really supposed to be the case, where the Miami Heat are not only up 3-2, but were at a point up 3-0 against the number 2 seed. Now, in all points or in like sports, seeding isn't always the case. And you really learn that point in the NCAA tournament. But in professional sports, it's usually the case and likely that the highest seed is the one that's going to trump and go through the obstacle and advance further. You know what I'm saying? So just to see Miami going through this whole steamrolling and fucking niggas up is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally, I was rooting for Braun to get the fifth. You know what I'm saying? Because that would have just been hilarious, just to see the narratives with him winning that fifth ring. That would have been comical just to go through. But now that the Lakers are gone, and I personally don't have an NBA team, so I don't have any alliances or anything like that. I just have favorite players, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kyrie, you know what I mean? But besides that, you know, I'm rooting for Miami, because just see Miami go through and win this particular Miami team, because of course we saw the Miami Heat runs with LeBron, and then we saw the previous one with Wade and Shaq. So that one was a very underrated run. But to see this particular team with Jimmy Butler led, with no particular all-stars or no superstars, and go through the competition he went through to get that ring, that would be incredible. You know what I'm saying? Denver winning would be dope too, because that would be Jokic's first ring. You know what I'm saying? They finally like went over the hump and obstacle of getting that title. But again, Denver being the number 1 seed, it would be more expected for them to get that than Jimmy Butler leading the Miami Heat, who was previously in the finals, in the bubble finals against the Lakers, and that's the Bron 4th ring with AD. But everybody wanted to talk shit about the bubble and all that. And I don't understand that, because growing up, when you went to the Wild or Rec, where was the crowd when you played ball in that motherfucker? Besides 10 of your homies, if not, you know what I'm saying? But it won't like it was 50,000 niggas. It was like 10 niggas in that crowd, and it was just 5 of your guys and 5 of their guys. That was basketball to me. But anyway, that would be dope. And shout out to Miami. I got them winning Game 6. And then at that point, we got Denver and Miami in the NBA Finals. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see. Miami got to close it out. I think Game 6 is this Saturday, which is May 26th, or excuse me, May 27th. You know what I'm saying? So that's Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. You know what I'm saying? But that is really it as far as the NBA. It's not really it a lot, because they talking about your boy Ja Morant yet again. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Ja, a.k.a. NBA dumb boy. I forgot who said that. I think Kwame Brown said that shit. That shit is hilarious. And speaking of Kwame Brown, because I'm everywhere right now, but we still in the umbrella of the NBA, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of Kwame Brown, I just really find it comical that this good brother tends to speak on things that I feel like, or people that he just don't have the level of speaking on. Like Kwame Brown, who is a former number 1 pick, is criticizing LeBron for the actual sweep action done by the Denver Nuggets. And not only the sweep, but his performance more so leading until the loss in Game 4. And my only thing is, you shouldn't even be qualified and even speaking on that type of shit, because you have no accolades to even say you can talk about. Like, besides you being an NBA player, you shouldn't even speak of LeBron. Like, it just, that's like motherfucking Josh McCown speaking on Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, motherfuckers shouldn't even be talking about certain people. You know what I mean? So that's just all I got to say about that. And speaking on Ja Morant, of course, it's been seen that he's had another incident where he's flashing a gun. And I'm going to keep it a buck, and more so I'm going to keep it very short, because this is definitely getting outdated. This is getting very aspired as far as the situation that's in hand with Ja Morant. I understand that this young man is, first of all, a young man, more so a young black man. He is 23, if not 24 years old of age. You know what I'm saying? He's also a rich man, if not a wealthy man at that. He's a $200 million man at this point, and not that I pocket watch, but this is public information. He just recently signed a $190 million max contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. He is a very talented NBA player. Nonetheless, my only issue is not that he has a gun, is not whatever law that he broke, or if he did break any laws. I don't care about that. It is not anything in regards to his endorsements with, per se, Nike, or anything that he's branded with or has endorsements with. My sole issue, and of course this is personal, not in a I hate this motherfucker or I have an issue with him, but just as a personal, like speaking for myself, of course, because this is for the love, of course. But the fact that you are sending negative energy to not only yourself, but people around you, more so your family, for, in my mind, no fucking reason. You are, again, Ja Morant, the basketball player. It is no problem with having a gun. As a black man, I want everybody to be a gun owner for your protection and for our protection. And we know the history, and I'm going to leave it at that. Yet alone, when you're on IG Live and you make the choice to brand a gun and you flash it, and it's not for protection, it is for the sake of, I have people on my live who are more so millions of people that follow me and follow what I do. And not only the fact that I play basketball, but I'm Ja Morant, and they want to see what I do on my everyday basis. So once I'm live, I have these millions of people watching me, and the first thing, or fuck me in the first thing, one of the things that I choose to do is bring out the gun and flash it and show motherfuckers, look at what I got. That only brings a motherfucker out here that's willing to try that shit. So for the people that sit there and say that, oh, he's not breaking any laws, why can't we as black people show guns? We can do all of that shit, but not in the sense of going on Instagram or any social media platform and bragging about it or showing that you got it. Because at the end of the day, we have that shit. And at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we had that shit to blow it when we need to blow it. You know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where when you know you could do some shit, you don't have to announce it. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do announce it, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? That's your life. Niggas don't control that. But to keep the point alive, when you know you can knock a nigga out, you don't have to say it. You know what I'm saying? So Ja Morant needs to understand that it gets to a certain point, and especially when that young man has kids, you have a young girl, you know what I'm saying? And why would you want to bring that energy towards yourself when that could possibly take you away from her and your family? That was my issue with that shit. But other than that, the nigga's a great ass basketball player. I hope the shit just dies and goes under the rug. I hope he changes behavior and just ball the fuck out. Ball the fuck out. Y'all niggas were the number 2 seed in the West. You know what I'm saying? Arguably one of the top teams that was contending for the title. And that broke off the whole shit rather than Dylan Brooks and all of that bum ass behavior he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So that was the NBA. You know what I'm saying? But before I exit out of basketball, I want to shout out to the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Because the WNBA, and yes, for the love does support the WNBA. I see a lot of niggas on the comments, you know what I'm saying, calling niggas men and all that shit. And yeah, again, This is the serious nigga. This is the nigga that don't take a lot of shit as a joke, because when niggas take things as a joke all the time, niggas get popped in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And when niggas get popped in the mouth, then that's when niggas start bitching. You know what I mean? And then that's just a vicious cycle. So it's just like, give it up to the women. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, y'all can't beat these motherfucking women. And they just nice as a motherfucker. And you can't fuck them. So that's another thing, you know what I mean? Imagine a chick that'll dust your ass in basketball and still dust your ass in real life. You understand? It's just a double entendre. It's just womanhood type shit. You feel me? But WNBA season is out. Shout out to the Phoenix Mercury. That's the squad I'm rocking with. You know what I'm saying? BG is home. BG is out here giving buckets to these broads. Respectfully, you know what I'm saying? When you was in Russia for 10 months balling with 6'10" dirt, Nowitzki, dyke, chick looking motherfuckers, you gonna only come home and get these Americans 30-20. You feel me? Come on, man. Then when you got the GOAT beside you, you got Diana Taurasi. I don't give a fuck how old she is. She could be 39, goddammit. She's still gonna give you 39 plus 2. You understand? So it's Phoenix Mercury. We understand that the aces are the aces. We understand that the Liberty are decked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because New York always gonna finesse some shit and get a team popping. You know what I'm saying? And in the WNBA, they're looking more interested in the New York Knicks, respectfully, and the Brooklyn Nets, respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I'm rocking with BG. You understand? It's two BGs I fuck with in the knowledge. That's Brittany Griner and that's BG. You understand? And free BG. You understand? One of them is free the other one. Word up. But that's the WNBA. Y'all gonna check that shit out, you know what I'm saying? If y'all don't check that shit out, I'm gonna get a fiend to run up in your crib and make a sandwich. You understand? He ain't gonna do nothing to your family. He's just gonna make a sandwich and leave the fuck out of there. Like, bruh, man. You understand? But we're here, man. You know what I'm saying? I need a moment. I need a moment. But it's a lot of shit because the nigga be taking his time, man. You know, like, what I'm gonna start doing is not rushing shit. I'm gonna just start, you know what I'm saying, just meditating out here and, you know what I'm saying, just be outside. But WNBA, NBA, before we get into 757 Sounds, because, you know what I'm saying, that's what we always got for the love. You know, we already gave our blessings to the great Tina Turner. You know, recently, you know, my TV shows for y'all that I give recaps on, you know, it's not a lot, you know, because I don't watch TV, of course. I always state that because I'm really like a podcast type nigga, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mav Hoffa with the expert opinion, killing that shit. He's actually doing the greatest rap crew, not him in particular, but he's helping curate the list that's sponsored by BET, you know what I'm saying? BET is doing the greatest rap crew of all time, you know what I'm saying, in hip hop. So, and they're announcing the winner at the BET Awards, which is like sometime late in June. I think it's like the 25th. I don't know the exact date, but it's usually around that last week mark. And they have like they're in the semifinals round, and it's a lot of crews from So Def, the Wu-Tang, the Rockefeller, the Rough Riders, the G Unit, to Juice Crew, Native Tongues, Hypnotized Minds, which is 3-6, you know what I'm saying, Project Pat, you know, they got Bone Thugs, you know, it's a lot of crews, and again, I'm not Death Row, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot of those Bad Boy, a lot of them crews pretty much is in a tournament bracket, and they're down to the semifinals. To my knowledge, they had So Def featuring Dungeon Family, and one of them was Death Row featuring NWA, and then they had Wu-Tang featuring Rough Riders, and then, you know, so it was a lot of those, and G-Unit ended up beating Rockefeller, for instance. So that was definitely interesting in the tournament. Me personally, I fucking agree. You know what I'm saying? What y'all fucking thought, man? What y'all thought I was gonna say, man? Like, I understand Rockefeller had Hove, they had Beans, they had Bleak, they had Young Guns, they had fucking Oskino, they had PD, you know what I'm saying? They had Freeway, they had a Million, they had motherfucking, man, listen, they was wilding, like, it was snapping. But G Unit, I'm not. I can't go against G Unit, my nigga. Like, is this impossible? Like at this fucking point, like I can't go against Power the Dollar, No Mercy, No Fear. I can't go against those mixtapes. None of that shit. It's G Unit over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that, and I agree. You know what I mean? And y'all gonna see me at the 50 tour, and that's in July at Virginia Beach. You already know I'm outside on that shit, and that's ball game on that. But again, man, because whole time I'm out of pace bringing it back. I'm speaking of the 50 thing, which segues back to the TV shows because I watch a lot of pods, you know what I'm saying, and whatever, but that segues to the TV, which is the Power Book 2 Ghosts with your boy Tariq. They just ended the season 3 and that shit was fire. I'm not gonna lie, the season was mad predictable. It wasn't predictable in a bad sense, but I felt like the trailer that set the tone for the season kind of gave too much details to what was going to happen throughout the season. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like the trailer showed Sax with the gun pointing in his back. You know what I'm saying? It showed all that type of shit. So it was just a lot of predictable moments. But overall, the season was dope. And the thoughts I got out of the end of it was pretty much Tariq becoming his own self. Like, he finally became like Tariq St. Patrick, end quote. Like, he always, to me, mirrored his fucking pops, which was Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Because every move he did was on some Ghost-like shit, and the way they mirrored the whole show was pretty much based off the original Power. But, like, in this particular season, we saw Tariq become his own man. You know what I'm saying? He was able to get his family out of the picture. Tasha got herself out of the whole witness protection situation with Tommy and all that shit and got herself in her own zone, but more so with Tariq. He got his peoples completely out of Dodge, so now he's his own man. And now that he got caught up in all the shit with Noma and all of that, to keep it short, he's out of the schoolyard situation. So now he don't have a reason to go to school no more because he lost the trust fund fucking with the Western Holding niggas, and losing the family money means he has no ties no more. So now he's Tariq, and now that they tried to set Tariq up, and your boy Brady came through, shot that bitch up, Blick came up, you know what I'm saying? Them niggas is out the way, and they on the run right now. So I wonder if now them being on the run and Tommy and Tariq making amends after Tommy came back means a crossover is going to happen. You get what I'm saying? So we going to see, you know what I mean? But dope ass season, you know what I'm saying? I can patiently wait for the season because I'm not about to stress a whole year over some fucking TV. But those are one of the shits. And I'm still depressed and sad that Snowfall is done, like finito, because that was my shit. And now that there's no more fucking Snowfall, it's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, damn, son, no more Franklin Saint. You know what I mean? But shout out to 50, man, because again, that just leads to, you know, how they're gonna go about that, you know what I'm saying? Seeing Effie and Diana flip on your boy Tariq was nasty work. It was, you know, typical, you know, some shit that a woman would do, you know what I'm saying? Like, since I can't have this nigga, then I'm gonna murk this nigga type of thing. Like, to see Effie use the picture against Tariq was weird because she was the one that introduced the whole picture idea to this nigga. So when he came about using it on Noma, then that's when she felt like the need to use that as clickbait, or not clickbait, but just like bait for Tariq. It was some weird shit. And then Diana just did the flip game, and they all wildin', man. Like, it was just crazy. And it was crazy to see Braden actually finally, like, not just come and save the day, but shoot Kane out of all niggas that was just pressing this nigga the whole time to become the motherfucker we seeing now. So that's another reason to be excited, because now, season 4, we know Braden is on another page. He's Braden, or Braden the man now. He's not tied to nobody either, so he can be who he wants to be, which is the motherfucker that sells product in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like another Tommy. You know what I mean? But again, man, that's dope shit, and that's the only TV show right now. Because again, there's no more Snowfall. There's no BMF as far as the season that's done right now. They're on to season 3. Tariq, Power Book Ghost, Power Book 2, Ghost has officially finished, and they now just dropped the trailer to the Power Book Force Tommy edition, or Tommy show, which is officially dropping on the motherfucking G-Day, and that is September 1st, you understand? Which is also the anniversary of the For the Luv Podcast, you understand? Like the whole fucking shit. So it's just a double whammy, you know what I'm saying? It's a triple whammy, because of course it's the day the good cub came on earth, you know what I mean? But then it's the For the Luv anniversary, and then it's also the season premiere of the motherfucking Tommy, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an eventful day, you understand? But that's definitely all of the television content that I got for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to really spoil all of it. I kind of, spoiled a lot. And if I did, fuck it, because the shit leaked. You know what I mean? So you really had like 2 weeks really to watch that motherfucker. And for the people that was honorable and didn't watch the leaks and waited till the officials drop, which I can understand, that's the last week, which was episode 9, and this particular week was the last episode of the Power Book Tariq series. You know what I'm saying? But like I said before and in the beginning, we definitely still have new music, and we're also going to cover that at this point, of course. Like I said, we are absolutely about that good vibes, the musics, all the good shit, you know what I'm saying? Recently, Lil Durk dropped his Almost Healed project, and that shit is hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the record he got with Cole, which is dope as hell. And again, Cole is arguably the greatest featured rapper, like, damn near of all time, bro. Like, he has an argument for that role or that title, because everything that he gets on at this point, he absolutely bodies that shit. Like, he goes wild on it. It's damn near like a better version of Cole than the album Cole or mixtape Cole. And the mixtape Cole is like really saying something, but like album Cole is even like a while, because when he gets in the feature pocket, it's like a different type of raw Cole that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Benny feature, and recently the Dirk feature, and even the feature he did on the Summer Walker's EP that she recently dropped like last week. That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that was more so like a note to Summer Walker, you know what I'm saying? So just to see him rap that was just like the flow was just impeccable, son. Like, he also has one of the illest flows, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his flow is just mad digestible. Like, You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Cole, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely one of the greats. And he definitely one of the ones when it's all said and done. But besides Dirk, of course, like I mentioned, Summer Walker came out with her last EP. Definitely, like, Summer's different. You know what I'm saying? And for the people that listen to R&B, like myself, I listen to R&B actually more than I listen to rap. You know, Summer Walker is definitely one of the ones. Like, that EP is fire. Like, like she's like she's a different person when she's in that booth and she's spitting the shit that she's writing, you know what I'm saying? So I really don't care about what she does socially when people want her to do all this shit on stage, because as far as the shit that she writes and spits out her mouth, that shit is enough. You know what I mean? So shout out to Summer, you know what I mean? And shout out to Dirk. Still on that Larry June. You know what I'm saying? That Larry June project is fire as hell. You know what I'm saying? There's a new Mac Hami and God Fahim album, and that shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Definitely still on that new Navy Blue. You know what I'm saying? And y'all going to just check out these artists on the DSPs. You know what I'm saying? If y'all go on these albums and search these artists, it's the last album up there, you know, because it's a lot of music that is just being recycled in my brain. So y'all gotta forgive me because most of these album titles I don't know off the top, you know what I'm saying? But definitely look them up. And on the local sense, you know what I'm saying? Because this is the 757. This is the Hampton Roads. This is for the love, you know what I'm saying? For the love of my city. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my nigga Oye. Check out his EP. We still bumping that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Al Doms. You know, shout out to all the cats out there, you know what I'm saying? Because we lit, man. And you know, recently we came off of something in the water, which was, you know, just about coming off a good 3 weeks to a month, you know what I'm saying? That was definitely an eventful moment. It was good to see that back home in the city. Even though unfortunately the festival realistically or technically only lasted for 1 day of the 3 day event, which was the Saturday night, and that was the night that was set for Pharrell and his friend set. You know what I'm saying? That's when Pharrell had brought out ASAP, he brought out Chris Brown, he brought out Diddy with Buster, and he brought out MIA, and then he also closed it out with De La Soul, which was my favorite moment of the whole surprise event, because even though I personally didn't go, I definitely streamed the event, which was streamed on YouTube, and I thought that was dope as well, because not only for the people that wasn't able to go on the local sense, but for the world to be able to see my hometown or my home area, you know what I'm saying, was fire to me. Like, to see motherfuckers overseas look at 757 was a wild part, like, mentally to even grasp, you know what I'm saying? But to go back and see P bring out De La Soul and they perform Saturday, and then they perform Me, Myself, and I, and then they go off and perform much more, was just, I was flabbergasted, you know what I'm saying? So, and then, of course, the Friday night, it rained out just like the first event. And then the Sunday night, or excuse me, the Sunday, the whole day of Sunday, it was a tornado warning, which actually happened, in a tornado landed in the Virginia Beach area on that Sunday, you know what I'm saying? So that eventually canceled that day. And of course, people got their refunds and etc. But it kind of dampened the event as far as it only lasted for 1 day, which in comparison was less than the first event in 2019, which we got that Saturday and Sunday, and that Friday rained out. You know what I'm saying? But again, regardless, shout out to Pharrell, because the vibe outside of the festival performances, I'm pretty sure, were utopic. if that's even a fucking word. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, again, how I felt in 2019. I'm sure it was like a perfect vibe. It was like no issues. Everything was just, you know what I'm saying, like efficient, you know what I mean? And everybody went home, so definitely looking forward to the next year festival and the years going after that, because that's definitely an event that we gotta make sure that's our shit and that stays in the sand in the Virginia Beach. You know what I'm saying? Specifically the 7-5, but you know what I'm saying? But we at this point, man, we actually went over a lot of things. I want to make sure that I got everything out before we check out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's been a lot, you know what I'm saying? I think everybody's focusing on the Renaissance tour. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't get your tickets, I don't know how you're gonna get it. You probably need to make an OnlyFans account at this fucking point. Or scam. You know what I mean? Those are the only two options I can give y'all, man. I don't know no other advice. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't do those two things, you're probably might go to jail for the next thing you're thinking about doing. So think about your actions, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think Beyonce wants that to be the case. But I don't think y'all give a fuck, because y'all just want to see Beyonce. And Beyonce got to understand that she's going to be seen, But besides that, before I check out, man, you know what I'm saying? Again, this is episode 58. I just want to, again, thank all my peoples, my beloveds, all my guys, you know what I'm saying, my roses, you know what I'm saying, all the roses to the loved ones out there in the 757 and around the world, you know what I'm saying, for the love is actually global, you feel me? I got motherfuckers in Germany listening to the God, you know what I mean? I got niggas in Africa, you know what I'm saying? I got motherfuckers everywhere. I want to give a shout out to my people in Brussels. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to my peoples in Russia, because y'all listening to the good cut everywhere. Y'all see the hairline is flowing. Yes, my shit ain't fall back. My shit is intact. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking all right. You know what I mean? And y'all seeing me out here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my SoundCloud peoples. Shout out to my Spotify peoples. Shout out to my Apple peoples. And more importantly, since we are being seen, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my YouTube cats. You know what I'm saying? Check me out on all the socials. That's TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if you see me face to face, you know what I'm saying, just don't touch me. You understand? That's my first thing. Just don't touch me. You know what I'm saying? To say, yo, what up? Or hit me with a nod. And I'm going to nod back. You know what I'm saying? All my fiends out there, be patient, man, because I'm coming outside, man. But at this point, man, this is definitely, like I said, man, this is episode 58. And just want y'all to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Think about somebody else outside yourself for once. And maybe that would change your mind on a lot of shit. And understand that, you know what I'm saying? Just take it easy, man. You know what I mean? But appreciate y'all for listening, man. Y'all be easy. God bless.